Hello and welcome to Insurance Fraud Files. Today's case is about fire, money, and timing. A restaurateur whose properties kept burning, sometimes his own, sometimes other people's, always after insurance coverage increased. What looked like bad luck at first slowly revealed a calculated pattern. This is the case of serial arsons linked to restaurateur Bobby Salazar, later reported by New York Post. The fires didn't happen all at once. They came in waves. A restaurant damaged by fire, then another. Different locations, different ownership structures, but the same name appeared repeatedly in the background. Bobby Salazar was connected either as an owner, an operator, a tenant, or a beneficiary. At first, investigators treated each incident as separate. Commercial kitchens are high-risk environments. Grease, heat, electrical loads, accidental fires are common. That assumption worked in Salazar's favor, until the timing stopped making sense. Several fires occurred shortly after insurance policies were issued, or coverage limits were significantly increased. Not months later, not years later, weeks. In some cases, days. That detail shifted the investigation from fire safety to financial motive. In fraud analysis, timing is rarely neutral. Investigators began reconstructing the insurance history of each property, policy renewals, endorsements, coverage increases. When those dates were overlaid with fire dates, a pattern emerged that could not be explained by coincidence. Fires consistently followed moments when losses became more profitable. Then came the fire scene analysis. The origin points were suspiciously convenient. Fires often started in areas that caused maximum damage with minimal risk to occupants: late nights, closed premises, empty buildings. In several cases, ignition sources were inconsistent with normal restaurant operations at the time the fires began. Some fires spread too efficiently. Others were strangely contained, as if designed to damage insured assets while preserving structures. That balance is difficult to achieve accidentally, but familiar to investigators dealing with intentional fires. The most disturbing element emerged when fires occurred at properties Salazar did not own. These incidents expanded the scope of the case dramatically. The same behavioral patterns appeared: recent insurance changes, strategic timing, and controlled ignition. Investigators concluded that the motive extended beyond recovering losses. It included eliminating competitors and exploiting insurance mechanisms simultaneously. Witness statements added pressure. Surveillance footage placed Salazar near some locations shortly before fires broke out. Alibis shifted. Explanations changed. The consistency seen in the insurance timing was absent in the personal narratives. From an expert perspective, this case illustrates a core principle of arson-for-profit investigations. Fire alone does not prove intent, but fire combined with motive and timing creates a structure that is extremely difficult to defend. According to reporting, investigators ultimately tied the fires together through financial analysis rather than fire damage alone. Insurance policy data became as important as burn patterns. The crime was not just in the ignition, it was in the calendar. The Bobby Salazar case shows why serial arson is rarely discovered at the first fire. It's discovered at the third or fourth, when timing exposes intent and motive becomes visible through repetition. At Insurance Fraud Files, we analyze cases like this to show how investigators connect fires to financial decisions, policy changes, and behavioral patterns. Because fraud doesn't announce itself as a crime, it hides inside administrative details until someone looks closely enough. If you are faced with a suspicious claim, incomprehensible losses, or a case that is not supported by facts, Insurance Fraud Files is the place where expertise meets reality. If you need a professional investigation, loss assessment, or expert support in a complex case, do not rely on assumptions. Thank you for watching Insurance Fraud Files. See you in the next video.